everyone, we are here on this beautiful snowy day at Wellesley College in Massachusetts to speak to some students about their experiences. I'm Natalie Welch with ProWrite. Let's go. Hi everyone, what's your name?
Anya.
And what's your major?
Studio art, and I have a minor in environmental studies.
What year are you?
I'm a senior.
And where are you from?
I live in Colorado now, but I grew up in Western Mass.
What's your name?
My name's Ella.
And what's your major?
I'm an East Asian Studies major.
And where are you from?
I'm from Norwich in England.
Nice. And what year are you?
I'm a junior.
What's your name?
My name is Emma Andrew.
And what's your major?
Linguistics.
What year are you?
I'm a first year.
And where are you from?
I'm from Cambridge, Mass, which is like pretty close to here, yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Hoda Said.
And where are you from?
I'm from Bedford, New Hampshire.
What's your major?
Math and economics.
And what year are you?
I'm year 2023.
So if you could rate your experience at Wellesley on a scale of 1 to 10 thus far, what would you give it?
Oh wow, that's hard because it's a really complicated experience here, but I guess I would probably give it maybe a 7 or 8.
I'd say about an 8. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I love everything here, the people, my work, my classes.
I would give it an 8 or a 9. My classes have been amazing. My professors are really good. And I like how the college is a bit more intimate. And so I feel that my voice is really heard.
Why did you originally choose Wellesley as a freshman?
Out of the schools I got into and visited, it had the best studio art department as far as I could tell. So that is why I came.
So I was on a program which helped students from the UK access US higher institutions, and they had this book of like 50 colleges, and I literally just flicked through it and I saw Wellesley and I was like, okay, that's the one. And so I applied and I never came before applying.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually took a gap year, and because I didn't want to like come to a school that was so close to home without like getting away for a bit.
Totally.
And I just really loved the intensity of the academics. I didn't realize it at first, but I absolutely love the all women's thing. They have a great foreign language program.
My mom really liked it, but they also had like the strongest programs in the fields that I wanted to pursue. So it just seemed like the natural choice.
Do you like being at an all-female institution?
Yeah, I think I do, yeah. The way I felt about it has evolved over time. But I think there are some really valuable things about it.
I really don't notice it. Like I never really reflect on it. I think it's been so different just because there's just nothing like this back in England. But I wouldn't change it at all. I don't think I'm deprived or missing out. Like I will leave Wellesley one day and enter the world, and I will be amongst many different types of people. But there are many different types of people here at Wellesley too. I don't feel like, we're so homogenous.
It was not the plan, but it ended up being amazing. I always feel safe, extremely comfortable, and I don't know, it's just very sisterly.
Yeah, I think it creates a very supportive community, and I found my own community pretty quickly.
Do you like having a liberal arts education at Wellesley?
Yes, I definitely love the fact that there are so many people who like have their fingers in so many different pies. And even if someone is like a bio major, like maybe they've taken like loads of classes in like another different humanities department. And so no one is like just a one-track mind type of person. Everybody's like dipped their toe here and there.
At first, I was initially opposed to it because I didn't want to take classes that I wasn't interested in. But now that I see that if I take literally just half a semester focused on one individual thing, it's actually really interesting. And there are also a lot of classes that are focused on really specific like histories that aren't offered in high school.
Totally.
So I like that.
Can you talk about what the Wellesley effect is?
I think it has to do with how students relate to each other here and how they affect each other in really powerful ways. Also, like the place itself, I think the landscape has been really important to my experience here, and I think it just shapes your outlook on the world. It gives you a lot of confidence, gives you a lot of connections.
I think I think it's like in every day, even though I may have like some bad points, just like Wellesley as it is, like I know I'm gonna have some like really good moments in every day. It's like the comfort knowing that even if things start off bad, like I know I'm gonna see some people in the dining hall, or I'm gonna have like a really good talk with a professor, or I'm just gonna like look out at the beautiful campus and I'll feel good inside.
I don't know, I think it's just a group of really like passionate, determined women, and we're all like doing cool things and supporting each other. It's not as competitive as other schools in the way that like person against person, but we're each like trying to do our
Totally.
best. Yeah.
That effect means coming together as a whole and trying to create as an inclusive community as possible.
Do you feel like there's a stress culture here in terms of academics or social life?
I think for sure, but I think some people take it like in a negative way, but some people use it to fuel them. Like the stress culture really gets some people kind of excited. But I definitely think that there is a stress culture, and particularly now around finals, everybody's feeling it. But it sort of comes in waves. Like you feel it build up, and then it all just like gets dispersed after people take exams or after midterms end.
Yeah, no, there is a stress culture here. It's pretty strong. But I think it's like we know how to deal with our stress. Yeah, and there's so many resources to deal with that stress.
Do you feel like there are good like mental health resources and different
Yeah.
outside of the classroom programming to help?
Yeah, actually right now is our reading period, and there are a lot of activities like dogs coming or like tea in the greenhouse, just to like kind of take a study break.
As a senior, how do you feel like you're being prepared for graduation in terms of career advancement?
I think there are just incredible resources here, like people resources, like professors and who they know, but also things that you won't necessarily have access to in the world outside immediately after graduation. So exposure to those tools, I guess. I'm thinking like certain studio art tools, I guess. I think it prepares you for after graduation because you've had exposure to those things, and maybe have a greater idea of how to get to them in the future.
How has the experience been at Wellesley as an international student?
Oh, it's been very welcoming. I have to say, I feel like I was kind of thrown in at the deep end, but we have a really amazing international student community here at Wellesley, and I've really relished hanging out with them. And so when it feels like this is a bit too much or it's like too different, I can just go to them and feel kind of like I'm at home.
Are there opportunities to study abroad here? Is that something you're planning on doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna study abroad as much as I can. There are a lot of opportunities. I don't know how many, but there's definitely a lot. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite class you've taken or a favorite professor?
I think my favorite class might have been advanced drawing. It kind of blew my mind a little bit, I guess. Favorite professor? I really like Alden Griffith in the environmental studies department. He's really nice, very organized. I like that in a professor.
Favorite class, one that I took this semester, it was True Stories. It was like an anthropology ethnography course, and we just like contemplated life. And it was great. Like every Wednesday for 2 or 3 hours, it was solid. Favorite professor was Mingwei Song. He taught Chinese cinema, and that man loves Chinese cinema like so much. He loves it, and I've never seen someone so passionate about like Chinese sci-fi in particular. He's really cool.
Oh, I'm taking both Spanish and French right now, and I love the language classes here. Also, I work in the greenhouse in the botanical gardens, which has maybe been one of my favorite parts. And because we have a corner of campus that is just like stunning botanical gardens. It's really, and we have a lake on campus, so it's really just a great place to walk around and like get connected. Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite thing about Wellesley, if anything?
I think probably the stress culture. Yeah, I think students feed off of each other a little bit in an unhealthy way here. There's just a big expectation to do a lot, and students talk a lot about it with each other, not necessarily in productive ways.
Is this too weird to say that toilet paper is just one ply?
No, it's not weird at all. That's
Yeah.
very valid.
Yeah, that's my least favorite thing.
2-ply toilet paper, Wellesley. 2-ply.
Yeah, we need it. 2-ply.
Should spread the word. How often are you able to get off campus and get to Boston?
Getting to Cambridge is very accessible because we have that relationship with MIT and the bus. Boston is a bit further, so that's mostly reserved for weekends.
What does a typical party or social life gathering look like at Wellesley?
In a dorm room. If it's like approved by the school, then it'll be dry and a little awkward, but it can be fun when you have friends, I guess. But the ones that I go to are in dorms, very small. You generally are like talking a lot rather than dancing and breaking things and stuff. So yeah.
I think the get-togethers are like very wholesome. It's pretty easy to hop on the bus into Boston, Cambridge area to go to the other colleges, like frat parties and whatnot. The buses run until like 3 a.m, so it's really accessible. There's not a hardcore like party scene here, but we do like get together and like have free nights and
Totally.
like wine. It's all very wholesome.
Yeah.
I think it's like there is so many different things. Like I have friends who will gather together to like have like an album listening party, and they'll just like listen to one album or like a new album that comes out. Like Ariana Grande's new album came out and there was this huge party and people just listened to it. But then there's other people who like to play Mario Kart like I played Mario Kart yesterday. That was like a social thing. It really varies. People, they do what they want, I think, and just like have a good time. Yeah.
Great.
There's no one formula for it, you know what I mean?
I'm sure it varies between people. For me, I have a lot of like movie nights with my friends, and then we often go out to Boston. But I'm sure like a lot of other people, they often frequent like MIT frats and stuff like that.
Do you guys have an academic relationship with MIT as well?
Yes, so there's cross-registration with MIT, and there's also, I believe, this dual degree program where you can apply if you're like an engineering major, and it's a bit competitive, but it's a really cool opportunity because I think you get your Bachelor of Science from MIT and your Bachelor of Arts from Wellesley.
Do you have any piece of advice for students applying to Wellesley?
Well, your experience here might not seem like what your friends at other colleges are experiencing, but I think my advice would be not to compare it in that in that way, because it's going to be quite different, but I think in a good way at the end.
I would say, like, whatever, if you feel, so when I was applying, all of my like no thoughts were sort of stemming from what I thought other people would think about me, or what I thought other people would think about Wellesley, and I didn't really listen to myself, or like I did in the end, and that was the best decision. So if you feel like this is the place, don't listen to the other people who are going to tell you that you're going to be like deprived of men, or you'll like be so liberal. Like you can really make what you want of Wellesley.
I think just like have a passion. As long as you're determined and like have something you're going for, I think they'll see that and recognize that.
I would definitely say come in person and check it out, because I feel like you get a pretty realistic feel of what you will end up experiencing once you're enrolled. So definitely, come to the campus first.
So if you could go back and do it all again, do you think you would still go to Wellesley?
I think so. Like out of my choices, yeah, I probably would have had a better idea of what I was looking for in a school, so maybe I would have applied to different ones. But if I found myself in the same choosing situation, Wellesley for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm getting chills thinking about Wellesley. Like my applying and being here my first year, everything was just so amazing. I can't formulate the words to tell you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would, because the other schools I was considering were a bit larger, and I found that I really like the more intimate experience, especially the classrooms. They're very easy to like connect with professors.
Nice. Right, everyone, that's what students have to say about Wellesley College. Thanks for watching. Stay warm.